In life, there are just some things that you should never do. You never ask a woman her age, you never headbutt a Samoan, you never ask Kirby fans what he did in Colorado, and you never let a Saiyan find out they are stronger than you. Because after they realize this fact, it isn't even about defeating you anymore, it's about humiliating you in the worst way possible, which they accomplish by doing moves they've never done before in their life, and by pulling the most theatrics as possible like they're an emote spammer in Fortnite. And this trend of humiliating weaker opponents all started with an unlikely candidate, with this motherfucker Raditz, who off the rip tail whips Krillin, slimes out Goku, and steals off with his son. And keep in mind, this happened in the very first episode of Dragon Ball Z, after Goku just got crowned as the strongest in the world from the last tournament. He just got put on fraud watch instantly, as he's all laid out licking Raditz's boot to get his son back. Like, who is this? This is not my goat. That ain't Goku nor Kakarot. That's Justin Chatwin. And after getting his son finessed, the get back was so mandatory that Goku teamed up with his biggest op at the time. And if you watched OG Dragon Ball, this shit must have been so special. The hero teaming up with the earlier villain to defeat an even worse villain trope will always go hard, even if they started spamming it recently. So anyway, Goku and Piccolo pull up on Raditz, and bro's out here feasting, he ain't worried about a thing. Even when Goku and Piccolo get a slight power boost from stripping, taking off their weights, as he speed blitzes them immediately with double elbow chops, which was so deadly it had Piccolo touching earth, which is why Raditz had to hold the pose like he a JoJo character, and it don't look goofy when you're winning. Goku and Piccolo then go in for the jump, as they try and sneak him from the back, pause, and instead of turning around, even hitting something like this, Raditz just swung his body and hits him with the most egregious maneuver ever seen. Full lower body in the air, ass cheeks all the way up, equipped with a devious grin for the camera. And keep in mind, he's pulling shit like this while fighting two of the best martial artists on the planet. Who needs hands when you got straight bullshit in the arsenal? Word to DDP. And at first, I thought something possessed him to try some shit like this. But after I saw what happened next, I deadass think he trained for this very situation. As Piccolo and Goku charge right back in, and Raditz still in the same position, no look dodges them, having them go under his legs. He levitates upwards and combos that position into a double Sunday. Like bro, I don't even want to know what he was practicing in those training labs. So we fast forward to when Frieza pulled up to Earth, which had everyone shook. But that wasn't gonna stop Piccolo from using the cape technique to aura farm. Like, why is he all the way up close like he won't be the first one to get cooked? But that doesn't even matter because for the first time in his life, somebody out-auraed Piccolo. Yes, I know, how could this be? As before he's even shown on screen, Trunks slices up all the Frieza soldiers and hits the pull-up technique. Flawless execution, I must say. Future Trunks is then introduced, but everyone's just wondering, who the fuck is that guy? Because he revealed to Frieza that just like Goku, he could also go Super Saiyan. And you know he's feeling himself because he keeps doing that stupid haircut thing. Like bro, we see the purple hair, we get it. And Frieza says, oh, you're a Super Saiyan? Show us then. And Trunks says, I bet, as he begins to transform. And keep in mind, Trunks hasn't even gotten the golden hair yet. He's slow burning this transformation like the Rent-a-Girlfriend manga. But Frieza's already getting straight PTSD. He knows Trunks the real deal. But this shouldn't have come as a surprise, because this episode is literally called Another Super Saiyan. Like, why did old animes even do that, bruh? But spoiler aside, this moment was still raw as hell. Like, we saw all the tribulations Goku had to go through to unlock Super Saiyan, and here comes a random dude with a Capsule Corp sponsorship getting that shit with ease. Which is what we thought. And upon seeing this, Frieza was taking no chances. He remembers what that straight belt to ass felt like, so he pulls the same thing he did on Namek and tries to blow the planet up. Frieza starts grinning as he eats the supernova, thinking he got the win on locks, as he starts cackling the same way he did when he destroyed Planet Vegeta. And even tries to pull a no-look, like bro was not Tony Stark. And if he just stayed and watched for a few extra seconds, he would have seen Trunks staring down the Nova, using the Sun Kiss technique as he lets it engulf him, until he starts lifting it up, which got Frieza hitting a double take with just one hand. And not only that, he starts walking with it like, oh nah, this guy is him. Frieza then out of spite blows up the supernova. Oh, got his ass! But this just allows Trunks to get to a high place, letting the cameraman examine his entire fit. He got that shit on though. And then he hits the most unnecessary hand signs of all time, just for a glorified ki blast. Like, you are not Naruto bro, check up. And he did all that just to miss. But we all know it was for the best self alley of all time, as he catches Frieza lacking and as we saw in the superhero movie, this whole exchange lasted like 4 seconds, so if you blinked, you missed the entire thing. So Krillin's dumbass was looking the wrong way, would have missed a generational performance. Like that one time you missed school, then everything be happening. Luckily, Gohan clutched up and pointed Krillin in the right direction. Just in time too, as Trunks cuts bro up into mincemeat, and then blasted his shit to smithereens. But Trunks said the job's not finished as he stares down King Cold. and King Cold wasn't sweating as he thought he had Aizen type of manipulation, saying Trunks is only cold because of that sword of his. Bro obviously did not peep the fit and the hair, but Trunks had to let Cold know that he knows sword merchant like Mihawk, so he just tosses him that shit. And Cold thought he had just hit the finesse of the century, straight Bradley Bill on the Suns type of contract, as he tries to swing on Trunks but he just catches that shit, starts walking him down, and then like father like son, he obliterates Cold as well. And people talk about how characters like Raditz and Gohan are the most wasted potential in Dragon Ball, but fail to mention King Cold's sorry ass. Like this guy is straight booty cheeks, what did he even do? And after dusting off the entire Frieza family, Trunks gets too much dip on his chip, which caused him to try and out aura farm the GOAT himself. But that shit ain't work out too well. Unlike these other Saiyans, when Vegeta is stronger than you, he's gonna let you know about it because that's when he starts chirping the loudest. But what he doesn't tell you is that when he's the strongest, he also becomes the prince of all zestiness. Let me explain. It starts off with him socking Dodoria mid-air. And Dodoria doesn't know that Vegeta's been farming Zenkai Boost for the past hour, like how I'll be farming Zubats in the caves. So he tries to press Vegeta for his scouter, and I would've done the same shit because them scouters be too drippy. You know my X-Universe character always had that shit on. But Vegeta did something even worse in gatekeeping, because if he couldn't have it, then no one could, as he just slams the scouter. Like bro, even if you didn't need it, you could've just kept it as an accessory, like what them fashion motherfuckers do with the stick. But my love for scouters aside, Dodoria tries to off Vegeta with his very own technique. And obviously, that shit wasn't gonna work against the owner himself. I mean, that shit doesn't work on anybody, but that's beside the point. As Vegeta appears behind Dodoria, catches his arm, spins him around, and then... Like damn, this is supposed to be a pause, but Vegeta held this pose for like 5 minutes, goddamn. Eventually he lets go because Dodoria starts yapping like a rat, straight 6'9", and he thought that shit was sweet, but Vegeta just offs him anyway. Vegeta then continues his reign of terror with his get back on Zarbon, as he dodges his hit with a mid-battle playing position, dodges his hit again, throws dirt in Zarbon's eye like he bullied Maguire,
put some dirt in your eye,
and penetrates his armor from the back, and then hits him with an overhead smash. Zarbon wasn't gonna let that get back come easy, as he charges back in and gets a few jabs onto the prince. They both then hit the iconic double punch before Vegeta gets kneed in the back, which got his mouth looking crazy. And Zarbon tries to finish it off with a gut punch, but Vegeta catches it and lends a fury of gut punches of his own, before penetrating his gut, which led to one of the most insane frames in Dragon Ball. And even though she is looking absolutely terrified right now, the Huz is still out there watching, so Vegeta had to show up by sending Zarbon flying. And to top it all off, he makes Krillin his bitch by making him hand over the Dragon Balls. This shit's too easy for him.
That's too easy!
We then fast forward to the Android saga where Vegeta just got done saving Goku in his newly acquired Super Saiyan transformation. So you already know he's feeling himself. There ain't nothing that could tear him down, as he just lets Android 19 cheek check him and then lets him get a combo off. Like bro doesn't even have his ego transformation yet, he's doing this for absolutely no reason. Because now, he's letting this fat ass robot talk all reckless, saying that golden hair's just for aesthetic, just like Ben Simmons wearing a shooting sleeve. But Vegeta had to let that clanker know that he's really like that, as he brutes 19 with a size 6 shoes, which he follows with an elbow chop that reveals its bolting circuits. And you know Vegeta's cold when his biggest hater in TN is giving him gas, as he starts walking down the android straight Sasuke on Donzo style, standing over him, but 19 wasn't gonna let that slide, as he recovers and tries to go for a headbutt.
Where are you going? You're lost?
But Vegeta's too locked, weaving the attempt and countering with his own version of the meteor combination, which includes a quick jab and an overhead hit causing a crater. For the second time, Vegeta stands over 19's body, but the android had already processed the data, creating the counter to grab Vegeta to steal his energy. He thought he had called game with that, but
he stands there, unfazed.
And then Vegeta hits him with this maneuver. Feet all over his face, I know Dan Snyder's jealous right now. Vegeta eventually starts to stretch his body out pause, which snaps 19's hands clean off. And this caused bro to start tweaking, as he turns on the jets and bolts the fuck out of there. But Vegeta wasn't worried, as he knew he had limitless range on Hall of Fame equipped. And with the most devious grin ever, he snaps the fuck out of 19 with a big bang.
Fatality.
And the final example I have of Vegeta humiliating weaker opponents starts off with Pui Pui revealing himself like he's a WWE superstar. He did all of that just to get no-diff by Vegeta, while Goku and Gohan look at him like,
he don't got a clue in the fucking world.
Vegeta then shows why he's a part of Weave Nation, as he nonchalantly dodges all the hits until he catches the leg and punts him with the kick of his own. And whoever said the shit like this never gets old, lied terribly, as before, Vegeta was looking all giddy getting to violate fodder, but this time, it ain't no fun and games anymore. Barbity from the virtual crowd sees how badly his minion's getting cooked, so he hooks him up with that stage change for that home court advantage. And by how fast the Supreme Kai locked in, you would have thought shit was about to get spooky, but Vegeta just takes a second to be memorized by his surroundings, then his Pui Pui charges in, Vegeta fakes the punch, gets in close, and then hits the most intimate finisher move ever. Like the slow mode lookup is insane. And now do you believe me that the Prince of Zestiness comes out when he's way stronger than his opponent? So throughout this video, we have seen aura farming, Zesty humiliations, whatever the fuck this is, but something we haven't seen yet is a Saiyan delivering straight belt to ass to a weaker opponent. And I'm not talking just a few heavy hits, I'm trying to see full-fledged combos. But that changes here as Gohan, in his father's drip, walks up to Buu and calls him a slur-off rip. Oh yeah, this is about to be cinema. Goten and Trunks begin to fuse to try and jump Buu with Gohan, with Piccolo being the cheerleader. But Gohan forced the ISO by ankle tapping the Majin, which got him leaning, followed by a 360 spin to the jaw which clipped Buu looking crazy. The whole squad becomes shocked at this performance, but Gohan had to remind them that the job's not finished, as he kicks Buu's head on a swivel and then appears behind him. While Gohan's modeling for the camera, Buu tries to sneak him but he gets his shit caught, comboed with a kick and an insane gut punch reminiscent of the one on Cell. Buu then had to hit a few step backs like he's James Harden to deal with all the pain. He eventually charges back in, but Gohan just blocks all that shit. He gets tired of playing defense so he just socks Buu in the jaw. And despite getting absolutely cooked, Buu's trying to play it off like nothing happened, but that all changes when Gohan walks him down for the second time, blitzing him in the gut, and bro loves spamming that move. And while Buu's still recovering, he gets sneaked into back-to-back impact frames, and to add on to the disrespect, Gohan catches his dingling thingy, hits the Cesaro swing, and sends Buu flying into a mountain. And Buu starts tweaking, because he actually has to fight a capable fighter and can no longer stat pad wins of an immature fusion. He should have stayed in the office. This causes him to try and snipe a collateral, but Piccolo and the kids dodge it and Gohan hits a home run with it. And after all the hits he's endured, this causes Buu to get extreme CTE, which got him thinking he's Sonic the Hedgehog. And we all know that Gohan got no dodging badges. He like Nate Diaz, he just eats them instead, as he catches Buu instead of just moving out the way, getting pushed back into another mountain. In the mountains, Buu then hits a freakier version of what Raditz did before going 0-20 in attacks, with Gohan catching his punch, pulling him in closer, and telling Buu he can't guard him, and then sends him flying. Gohan then fires upside down, channeling his inner Maverick from Top Gun as he charges up an elbow of doom, which got Buu looking shook, just to get hit with a hezzy, by flying up further and backsmacking Buu, which got him scrambling back to Earth. Gohan, still flexing, appears behind Buu, but Buu reads this and teleports behind Gohan. But this time, Gohan reads it and has Buu teleport directly into his elbow, comboing it with a swing kick, but then Buu starts cheesing, using the rocks as an attack. But what kills me is Buu's big ass riding the rock for a sneak attack. Bro is not Ant-Man. Buu thought he IQ'd it by getting in close and then hitting a point blank hyper beam like he's Rayquaza, but Gohan just yams it back down his throat. The Oxus should have taken notes. And after Buu looks like the Kyodi after blowing himself up, Gohan takes the opportunity to stat pad on the bubblegum demon, hitting his 5th gut punch of this fight, and then hitting an elbow to the back of the neck, and then Gohan was about to fire off another elbow, but decided to show mercy, because look at Buu's face. Bro froze, he hasn't moved in 30 minutes, declaring that this fight is over. We won't talk about what happened next.